Hey everybody.
I hit the blue button.
I see that. You hit the blue button. You got us going.
Yep.
And welcome to today's edition of Unsealed. I'm Kate Dillon from Crate Insider and Winning Motorsports Marketing. And I'm here with
Me.
Steve Hendren from Hendren Racing Engines.
Eating chips and salsa.
Eating chips and salsa. So, of course, today is November 1st. It also means that daylight savings time was last night. Did you realize that?
Yeah, I stayed up till 2 and watched it go back an hour, and then I decided to go to bed, and then I had insomnia. So it was a shit night.
Okay. Gotcha. I don't really have a response to that.
Yeah, I know.
So I just saw a post somewhere today, so I was like, okay. There's no way to tell anymore since all the electronics update automatically. Like you'd never even know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so there's that. Well, I have to say, I'm gonna kick this off with, I'm just gonna say that this show, whether you're listening to the podcast or watching us live or watching us on YouTube, this is an opinion show. It's an opinion show where we talk about current events and we talk about what we want to talk about. Now,
I thought everybody knew that.
well, apparently not everybody knows that because
No.
I'm gonna address a comment that we got over on our YouTube channel, and from last week's video, and so I'm gonna address that here in just a moment as soon as I get there. But I want everybody to know.
Is this the winner of the week on stupid shit?
Well, I mean, everybody is entitled to their opinion, and I do believe in freedom. I believe in the First Amendment and freedom of speech. Mm-hmm. And this is us actually, using our freedom of speech to say whatever it is that we want to say.
So, are you saying this?
Trump 2020. Yeah. Obviously, I'm
Like
a
the
Hodge
Hodge twins would
yes.
Or is it this?
Yeah, Trump
Yeah.
2020.
All right, cool.
Yeah, well, not everybody has been happy with us, so...
Not everybody?
No.
Well,
In
yeah.
fact,
I'm not here to please the masses.
well, here's just what I want people to know. So, Crate Insider, if you just want tech stuff, that's all you want, I have 400 more videos over on YouTube that you can choose from. Mm-hmm. Unsealed. Yeah, we cover some tech tips. Actually, we pull out a lot of those tech tips and make them separate videos. But
True.
This is our... Well, let's talk about how we started this show.
Well, we started the show during the whole pandemic lockdown bullshit deal that we had to go through. So you and I were just randomly sitting here one night and we're like, hey, I got an idea. Let's go live and, we'll just shoot the shit about the pandemic because everybody's bored out of their gourds anyway.
Talk to our audience,
and, we'll just talk about what's going on and, hey, you know what? Here's a great idea. Let's give some free advice if anybody wants free advice.
Let's have a conversation. So I will read this comment now.
Or, answer questions is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, but we answer questions about everything, though.
Right.
But here's from Chris S. And by the way, I've already looked.
You're
There's
gonna
lots
read
of
this?
Chris. I am going to read this.
Right.
So why the swearing emoji?
This is him.
Yeah, this is him. Why the heck do you insist on partisan political rhetoric? I turned to this channel to stay up to date on your products and 604 news. I've since turned off all notifications on Facebook and YouTube after the incessant political nonsense. Partisan BS is a cancer to this sport, period. Only our community would think it's good business to alienate a demographic that is 65% of the American public and shit on possible ticket sales, future drivers, and expanding fan base. I sure as heck don't turn to Hendren Racing Engines for political enlightenment. I look to them for knowledgeable experience on 604 crate engines. The political opinions lack all professionalism. It's always cringeworthy and unwarranted. Although the racing community is primarily composed of a conservative-leaning demographic, it's absolutely stupid to financially isolate our sport with unnecessary tribalistic tendencies. No, I'm not a Democrat. I'm just an individual with a brain who is sick of antiquated and toxic ideology, closing tracks, and emptying stands. If the next video is laced with partisan political views, pandering to certain viewers, I will stop ordering my parts from this organization. I will also dispose of my Crate Insider promo products. Stick to performance, a topic you're actually qualified in.
All right.
I actually have one takeaway.
What?
I'm qualified.
Yeah, you actually are. So we won't get into that part of it. But the first thing that comes to mind is, why wouldn't I be a partisan politician, pseudo-politician, when we've got a side of the aisle here that wants to do away with oil, do away with the oil industry. They want to raise taxes on people that are making over $400,000 a year. Who the hell do you think actually sponsors race cars? Yeah. It's not the guy making, $50,000 a year. It's the guy making $400,000. So if you're so, you want to care so much about the racing industry, maybe you ought to talk to some corporations, meaning us. I'm a corporation. She's a corporation. She sponsors some people. I sponsor some people. And, maybe you want to actually delve into what it takes to do that. It's certainly not paying 35% corporate sales tax or corporate tax. It's not paying individual sales tax, individual taxes. Well, sales tax sucks anyway. I keep saying sales tax because I fucking hate sales tax. But at any rate, you might want to delve into a little bit of that and gain a little bit of knowledge. The other thing that comes to mind is it's our show.
Yeah.
I can do whatever the hell I want to do. I can say whatever the hell I want to say. And if you don't know how to use a fast forward button, you don't really need to be my customer anyway. So there you go.
Well, I think this is part of... I think there's a lot to address here. But number one is that, at the end of the day, no matter what we do for a living, we're people. Right. And we're people that are full blown out people with all the things that come with being people.
Yep.
And I know the customers who are truly my customers appreciate feeling like they know me, feeling like they know you, and not just being this black box of like...
I'm not a robot. You're not a robot.
I'm not a robot.
I'm not CNN and you're not MSNBC, so we don't do the whole...
Well, that's good. I
We don't do the bullshit. We do the real shit. So...
Well, there's a lot... there's a lot to unpack there. But at the end of the day, this particular show is an opinion show. It is us talking. And yes, we do answer questions. But if you're looking for just the heavy-duty, hardcore, just tactical tech... you're not losing out anything by not watching this show or listening to this show. I have lots of other places where you can look. Yeah, we can certainly help you.
I don't care whether you're Democrat or not. Call me. I'll answer your question.
Well, and I will say that the political opinions we have here are not what's shutting down racetracks.
No, I'm just legitimately making fun of this dude right now because I don't buy into the whole cancel culture thing.
Well, exactly.
So I got a challenge for him. You said something about getting rid of your Crate Insider stuff. Why don't you go burn it and make a video of it and post it on your YouTube channel? Because you've got nothing on your YouTube channel. So,
otherwise
please do that, and just show us, that you're committed to what you're actually saying.
Well, because the truth is, I'm not hiding. I'm right here. I'm not hiding.
Right
I am out front telling exactly what I think. And back to the racetracks closing has nothing to do
Hang on,
with
I gotta open a
partisan.
beer and put my Trump sign in.
Okay. With partisan politics, it has everything to do with we need to do a better job of promoting racetracks, engaging fans, all of that. And, people want to connect with people. So at the end of the day, sorry, Chris, we're going to give our opinions.
Yeah. Basically kiss our ass.
Yeah, well, I would have actually called and had a talk with him, but I have way too many Chris S's in my...
Well, you don't even know who it is.
I don't know which Chris S it is.
He's probably never bought anything. Probably what happened was he comes here for free information, and then he probably got like a free thing on Top 5 Tuesday, which is what he's going to,
I don't know.
do away with.
It's hard to say.
Anyways, whatever.
Alrighty, so let's say
we're done with that bullshit.
We are done, and we're going to move on to the people who actually want to hear our opinions. Although I need some lipstick. My goodness,
or not.
I'm looking kind of
if you don't want to hear my opinion, just mute the shit. I don't care.
Yeah. All right, so Scott's here. Scott is here every week, and he's usually the first one here. Says hi from California, where the baby back ribs are slow cooking.
All right.
Nice.
Damn, damn, that sounds good.
Yeah, it does. I just put a casserole in the oven. We're eating casserole. JJ says hi from LaGrange, Georgia.
Nice.
Dennis is here. I saw his son Andy yesterday at the
You
track. Neil is here. Steve Opinion and Kate Opinion.
That's how it rolls, man. It's
like Jack-o'-lantern,
Yep.
but Steve Opinion.
Yep.
Last week we actually had a title for the show and called it Beer Pinions because it was something that I.
Well, honestly,
I
it's been what it has been from day one.
Well, it's always us, having a couple of drinks. I mean, half the time I am drinking alcohol.
What are we
but
doing
not.
on Sunday? We're having a good time.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, that's what Sunday's for.
Yep.
So, be around family, be around friends, have a good time on Sunday.
Yep. Lily's here saying hi from California. Jim
Hello.
is here. Pam says, "You go, Steve. Trump is the man."
I know.
Yeah.
I agree 100%.
David says, "Go Trump." Michael says, "Y'all do a great job and have given me lots of advice and great parts from Crate Insider. 3 wins so far and going for another here soon."
Awesome. Hope you win.
Fantastic. Congratulations. Gerald here is here. Trump Train 2020.
Yep.
I have Ryan here saying, "Hey, y'all from the southwest part of Virginia. It's getting colder. Trump 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about why the CVR cars are so good. Looking to change to that chassis." Tell us a little bit about that, Steve.
I'll be honest with you. CVR is actually one of the... Oh, there's...
I
We got
have
an interrupter here.
Yeah.
CVR is actually a really good car. And I actually talked to Matt Henderson earlier this week, and the old man here might actually get back into, like, a car.
Really?
And me and Matt are kind of talking about some stuff, so it might be a CVR. So, we'll see.
Wow.
But I'll tell you what, they're actually really good race cars. And from talking to Matt and Dino in his car and stuff, and really having a lot of in-depth conversation, their stuff steers really well in the slick.
Really?
Is from what I understand. So.
Well, and you know what? I'm going to go ahead and throw the promo out there because I think some people had the first dibs on it. It was kind of a secret for a little while. But, of course, you are going to speak. You're going up to Tennessee. Both are, in January.
Yep.
In Lenore City, Tennessee.
We'll be at CVR.
Yeah, well, it's not going to be at CVR, but some of the folks
right
from
there.
CVR, it's right there. And Matt has organized it. We're going to do a whole Race Logic chassis seminar on 604 Crate late models.
Correct.
And if you would like to sign up to be there in person, I don't remember what the pricing is right off the top of my head. It's but go to racelogic.vip and you can sign up. Now there's limited seating because there's just only so many seats. And then as soon as we sell out, then we'll probably do an online version as well.
Yeah.
But that's just like
should be a
spoiler
pretty
alert.
awesome deal.
Oh, I think it's going to be incredible.
And then, so long story short, answer to your question, I would personally invest in a CVR.
Rose says Trump 2020. Jeff Jackson, I agree with Steve. Trump 2020. Patrick, well said. Bruce, well said. Terry says, poof. John says, hi. Bill loves the show. Oh, and he lost us for a minute there.
Oh,
okay, that's what it was. Todd says Trump train all the way, and we have a whole pile of American flags here. And Ryan says, good enough for me. They seem to work so well in the apex of the turns on slick tracks.
exactly.
Talking about the CVRs.
No,
yeah.
I mean, that's the deal. I mean, from talking to Matt, Matt's driven one each everything. I've probably driven one each everything minus 1 or 2, but from what he's saying, it's how they steer in the slick is just phenomenal.
Wow.
So.
Well, that's exciting. I didn't know you were getting back in a race car.
Well, I didn't either till the other day when we had a conversation. So it just kind of popped into my head. So, or Matt made it pop into my head. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, good. That'd be fun.
I have to give my kid a run for his money.
That would be good. That'd be fun. For sure. Yeah.
And I'm not getting any younger, so if I'm going to do it, I might as well do it. So.
Yeah, you wait too long, you just won't.
Right.
You just won't do it.
Right.
So tell me, how was your week?
Busy, super busy as always. I went from being 4 weeks behind to almost 5 weeks behind right now. So it's people are out there buying product and making the economy move. So
Yeah.
can't complain.
No, that's
I
good.
can complain because we're actually behind, and I don't like being behind. I actually prefer being caught up, which is the opposite of most businesses. But when I'm behind, I got way too many things to think about. So it's insomnia at night kind of thing.
Oh, and yeah, you kind of refuse to do things like learning meditation or burning essential oils.
I'm not doing that sissy shit.
No, that's what helps me stay focused and
Right.
and all the things. Anil says, breaking news. Ryan, legit got Rod in the slick from what I see. Thank you so much for the input. Brian's like Trump 2020. I mean, we know our audience. We know our people.
Yep.
So it's interesting that Alex is, your son, is currently logged in as Crate Insider saying,
oh, nice.
You gonna work on it, big man? You gonna work on that car?
I'll probably work on it, and then I'll race him with one arm tied behind my back.
Yeah.
And maybe one leg. I'll just race one-footed. How's that?
And your mom says, neither does his mother know this. Hey, I didn't know either, Betty, and I'm sitting right here.
It's just an ongoing conversation, is all I'm saying.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
you never know.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ryan says, appears to be a legit hot rod in the slick, and thank y'all so much for doing this every weekend. Yeah, we have a lot of fun with this show.
We do.
Yeah.
I mean, and what else are we going to do? Like, especially now, because it's going to be like getting dark early.
It is going to start getting dark early.
Which, it's already doing it. And
I know.
it's probably dropped 10 degrees in the last half hour. So.
Probably. But actually, we're pretty set up. So, of course, we're on the patio in, near downtown Rutherfordton. Actually, we've got a pretty nice setup in here. You can't quite see it, but like I got like cute little lights in the ceiling, and we're covered. And I actually do have a heater.
Kind of see them in the mirror thing here.
Oh yeah. You can see them in the glass, so it's pretty cool.
Yep.
But yeah, we're pretty comfy. We could always turn on a heater if we wanted to.
Could, but
yeah,
it's not that cold yet.
Nah. So, anything else that's new or exciting?
I mean, tell us about your show.
Oh, yeah.
Trade show, I mean.
Yes. Of course, lots going on there. Oh my gosh. We are down to only 30 spots left.
So how many booths do you have right now?
I want to say we've sold over 180 10x10 spots.
Right.
So, I mean, some of them are bigger.
Right.
But we've got several new additions this week. Victory Custom Trailers is coming down from Michigan.
Good.
Yep, so they're going to be there. Go Lithium Batteries coming down from Minnesota.
Nice.
Which is awesome. Got several, we're talking to some shop companies. Bilstein's going to be doing something pretty major. With seminars and things at the show. Also for promoters. So any of you who know promoters, now this is just my, I'm never going to tell you that I don't have time to do something. That's never going to be words that I'm going to just sit here and own. I just haven't taken the time. I have to big thank you to Kelly Carlton. He is absolutely organized in a whole track of different seminars for promoters. And I just need to put them up on the website.
That'd be badass.
Huge thank you to Kelly Carlton and for putting that together. And we're going to have some great speakers. Ray Cook is going to be here from, Ray.
I was hoping Ray'd come. Yeah, because I talked to Ray and told him to call you.
Yep, and then we didn't get connected, but then talked to Kelly, and then Ray and I connected. So
Ray's an awesome dude.
Yep,
Probably.
And in fact, American Racer is going to be there at the show.
I would assume so if Ray's going to be there.
Yeah.
So.
Well, so that's exciting.
Yep.
And of course, Kelly's going to speak, and I'm going to be speaking. I haven't quite figured out exactly what I'm going to say yet, but there's any number of topics I can talk about because I do want to help promote our sport, and I'm always. First and foremost, what I personally do at Crate Insider is marketing.
The number one thing we do to promote our sport right now is vote for that man right there.
Yes. I mean,
we don't want to be racing electric cars in 4 years.
No, I just don't think that's going to deliver the same experience. And I know I voted. I know you voted.
Yep.
And
I actually voted for 3 Democrats, though.
So did I.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did. Secretary of State. I can even call who they are. Secretary of State. The auditor.
No, it wasn't Secretary of State. It was Auditor.
Well, also Secretary of State.
Oh, yeah. It was Lieutenant Governor. I voted Republican. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
No, Secretary of State, Auditor, and then we have a local commissioner we voted for.
Our evil assistant Tory's
uncle. Yeah.
We voted for him.
But I didn't vote for him because
he was the evil assistant Tory's uncle.
No.
We voted for him because the other guy's a douche. So.
Well, I mean, the other guy isn't even trying to get votes.
Well, he's just riding the Republican ticket.
Yeah, just riding the tails. So, I mean, I want somebody who's at least going to freaking try.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, I won't get into that.
Yeah. Exactly.
About the kind of. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Patrick says it was snowing in upstate New York.
Well, yeah, I don't doubt that.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, I do remember Yeah, that sucks. I do not remember. I do not miss snow at all.
Yeah.
Oh, Tare says, "Oh my God, look who slipped in the back door." Love the show. Was that? I'm guessing it was Pippi or Boo Boo.
Probably one of them.
Well, yeah, I have Pippi and Boo Boo, and they're both black cats. They're
both
found
assholes.
me. No, Boo Boo's sweet.
Well, Boo Boo's cool. Pippi's an asshole.
Boo Boo's sweet,
Yeah.
and he kills things.
Well, that's true.
And Pippi is rambunctious, and he's a terrorist,
Yeah.
and he knocks stuff down and all
I'm
that.
gonna nickname him Al Qaeda Pippi.
Oh God! Oh my gosh! Oh wow! Gary says, "For my 2 cents, if they don't like it, they can watch NASCAR." Exactly.
Which is about like watching paint dry on the side of a building.
I was thinking the same thing.
Oh my
Terry's
God.
saying hi to your mom. And they're saying, so Tori says, how did you guys feel about the championship outcome? Does a floor pan really warrant a disqualification?
I saw that.
What are you-
I saw
what are you
that.
talking about?
I saw that last night in the Monster Mini 4-cylinder, like the Monster Mini deal last night at Charlotte. The winner got disqualified because second place protested him over a stock floor pan, and there was some rust just in front of the driver's seat on the floor pan, and they covered it with like an aluminum plate or aluminum whatever, and they got disqualified for a floor pan. How do I feel about it? I think it's total bullshit, but you know, if I say that, then I think it's total bullshit that somebody got disqualified for the wrong rings a week or 2 ago. So I don't know. There's several different ways to look at it. I think a floor pan obviously isn't a performance advantage. So if a guy's got a piece of aluminum that's that wide by that deep in front of his driver's seat to cover up a rusted out spot in a stock vehicle, then I think it's bullshit. But
Well, I mean, this is just a question I have. Would be, shouldn't it, with a bigger race like this, shouldn't that be something that should be looked at in pre-tech?
well, that's the thing. He actually passed pre-tech.
And I mean, that's like an obvious. It's not a.
And
There's no
according
performance
according to
advantage?
what it was actually a friend. It's actually a friend of mine who got thrown out, but he passed pre-tech, and I guess the excuse at the end of the night was, "Oh, we didn't catch it in pre-tech." So
Well, I think we need to do better.
I mean, to me, it's complete total bullshit. But
Yeah.
I mean, in that scenario right there, it's just garbage. So is Nick Walker,
Okay.
Billy's son.
Okay. Gotcha. No, I didn't know about that. And I'm a rules are the rules because they are the rules kind
Yeah,
of person.
but I mean, we're talking like a stock floor pan that is rusted out of all these damn 4-cylinders that they're trying to race anyway because they're all Jap cars.
Yeah.
And which are well known for rusting out. So I don't know. I mean, the floor pan isn't what won the race or lost the race or whatever. It's just one of them things. And honestly, because it passed pre-tech, it should have passed post-tech. So, or the protest.
I don't know. It seems like a safety
So,
issue.
well, to me, whoever the tech man was should lose his job.
Well, I mean, I would see this as a safety issue.
I don't see it as a safety issue.
Oh, I certainly do see it as a safety issue.
In what sense?
As I don't mean they're throwing out. What I mean is, aren't you looking at these cars just to be like, dude, why is the aluminum plate? Oh, wait, it's because the.
Oh,
if you
I
didn't
see what
have the
you're saying.
aluminum
Yeah, I see what
plate-
you're saying. I thought you said maybe the aluminum plate was dangerous.
No,
but
no. I would say that, if you don't have the aluminum plate, then
You got a hole in front of your dick. Because that's exactly where it was right in front of his
Or I
seat.
could finish my sentence.
So,
Or you're going to just go from a 4-cylinder to a Flintstone vehicle.
right, exactly.
I mean, that can't possibly
Yeah.
be safe to have somebody's feet through the floor. So, what's the solution here?
It's a crock of shit. That's that's what I'm going to stick with. It's a crock of shit on that deal.
Wow, that's
So,
crazy.
he won the race. He kicked their ass. Second place apparently didn't like that and somehow knew he had an aluminum plate in his floor pan. So there you go.
Wow. I don't know.
It's,
I don't know many in that. will do it.
welcome to racing in the South because that's how shit goes around here.
Wow. Reminds me of the beginning of the season with the street stocks, and every week was a protest.
Oh God.
Yeah, that was crazy. So Patrick says, I'm going to fog my motor for winter.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any recommendations on what to use?
I recommend using Donald Trump 2020. But other than that, honestly, any motor oil or
You'd probably go with like a Mobile One, right?
well, yeah, anything will work. I mean, you can get the cheapest grade motor oil that you can buy at Advance. Just buy a quart because you're going to use about a half a quart to fog it down. So any of those would be good. Or Trump 2020.
I don't. Well,
Chris S., this is for you, buddy.
I wondered whether I should tell you about that whole story or not. I even thought I was already thinking of like a title for this episode is like something about Haterade.
Right.
We don't drink the Haterade. You know what we are missing today?
We will let evil assistant Tori come up with the name for the episode
She
because
does
she's
such
done
a good
pretty
job.
damn good job.
She does a really good job. You know what we're missing today?
What?
There's a Trump rally at the airport in Hickory, and it's only like an hour from here.
Yeah, we'll watch it on our phone.
I know we will.
Yeah.
And I'll have to
It's kind of
stand
cold
in
tonight.
line. It is. Well, I mean, I'd stand in line to watch, but
Right.
we have a show, so yes. Yes. Patrick's laughing at us with our Haterade. Maybe that's what we need is you can put up your glass, you put up your bottle, and I'll put up my cup, and then maybe we put new labels on there. The Haterade.
We need to start getting paid by Ultra, by the way, or by Michelob.
Well, reach out for some sponsorship. Yes. Well, because clearly I can't sell it. It's it doesn't really go in line with the other things I sell.
It goes in line with everything you sell. Because what are we? We're all racers. What do? We race and we drink beer, and that's what we do.
Yeah. Well, not at the same time though.
Well, no, obviously. But we race, and then after the races, we drink beer. So.
That's how I grew up with it. That's
how we all grew up with it.
Yeah.
That's what we did.
Yeah. I love that. That's the whole idea of like creating community.
That's where the camaraderie comes into play, and we're, it's where you become friends with people. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, here's actually a good question, a good topic, and I'm just going to spring it on you. And so it's something I've certainly thought about over time, but I think you're going to be able to jump on quickly. And that would be, how has growing up in racing affected who you've grown up to be? And I'll start, and while you can think, but one thing that I learned from growing up in racing is the true spirit of competition, because when I would watch like my dad racing against other people, of course as a kid I'm in the stands and it's good guys, bad guys, it's just there's enemies and that was it. You're out there on the battlefield. And to learn that being competitive, and what I could never really quite understand when I was really young, and then I learned more, would be that they're battling out there like warriors, but the race is over and they're sitting and having beer together. And that was hard for me as a little kid to really comprehend. But seeing the true spirit of competition, you're going to relate to people who are competitive like you. It doesn't mean that somebody else is bad. You just want to be better and you want to make yourself better. So running your own race, I think, is a piece that I learned, and that it isn't just good and bad and enemy or friend.
Well, I mean, number one to me is like you can never learn how to win until you learn how to lose. Because most times in life you're going to lose. You're not going to be a winner all the time. So unless you can lose with dignity, you'll never be a good winner. So that's one thing I've learned throughout the years. Like if you lose and you have a temper tantrum, you just look like a dick. If you lose with dignity, then when you finally win, or if you when you win, you can appreciate that win a lot more than you can than if you're just a crying little baby that thinks that they should win because they have more money or more car or more motor or more tires or more car hauler or whatever. So that's kind of number one thing I learned. And it goes on into life too. I mean, with wives and ex-wives and everything else. I mean, it just sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and it's just life. So you take it in stride and go with it. So it's kind of what racing's taught me.
I think another thing is innovation and creativity, and always looking for an edge, and always being, your competition isn't always out there.
Racing also taught me Trump 2020.
You really needed to interrupt me to say
For Chris
that.
S. Sorry.
To be innovative and to be on the edge, you always have to innovate and be creative and try new ideas, and don't be afraid to try new ideas. And I may not have understood all the things that my dad was experimenting with, but just hearing him talk, I knew he was always striving to be better than the day before.
Well, it makes you think for yourself. I mean, years and years and years ago, back before, you go buy a race car from a Rocket or a GRT or Rayburn or anybody like that. I mean, back when I started racing, you were pretty much coming up with all the ingenuity yourself. So you have to think outside the box. Like, how do I beat the next guy? How do I do this? How do I do that? How do I make this thing turn in a 10-acre field? There's so it makes you think. Well, like I said, outside the box. So there's just, I don't know. To me, racing's life. It's how I grew up. It's what I grew up in. So everything in my life has to do with racing. Everything I've learned in life has to do with racing. So there's really no go back to what I said before. That's like the one thing that I probably learned, and I probably learned it the hard way, is learn how to lose before you can learn how to win, kind of deal.
Okay. We'll get some feedback, and if you guys, feel free to drop in a comment and tell us, especially if you grew up around racing, or, just even if you didn't, what life lessons have you taken from racing? And I'm just going to throw this out there too. So even anybody listening to the podcast later on YouTube, drop those comments in. I mean, clearly we read the comments.
Well, we read that comment, or you read that comment because it was like, what, one?
Yeah,
one comment?
We don't actually get lots of comments on YouTube. We get a lot of views. Hey, you know what? I got an email today from, vidIQ, some monitor for my YouTube channel, but we have now reached 500,000 views.
Nice.
On YouTube,
That's
on
pretty amazing.
CrateInsider channel. 500,000 views on the CrateInsider YouTube
good.
channel. So really, really incredible. That's a big accomplishment, it feels like. Now, Steve says he's grown up to be broke. That's what he's learned from racing.
Well, trust me, if I had a nickel for every dollar I've spent racing, I'd probably be a millionaire right now. But
I
wouldn't trade any of my experience. And God, I raced since I was 16 years old. So however long that's been, I wouldn't trade any of it for even that nickel per dollar.
Yeah. Patrick says, I grew up with it. My dad was sponsored by Arctic Cat in the early 70s. I've been involved with racing ever since. Got lucky finding a passion at a very young age, and my life has been great.
Nice.
That's fantastic.
And, the one thing like it did for me, like I grew up in California, so the one thing that racing did for me, and my parents were smart enough to do this, number one, it kept me out of trouble. I wasn't out there frickin' snorting coke and doing all the shit that some of my friends were doing back in the day. And so, I mean, it just kept me out of trouble. Or I had a lot of friends get in trouble back in those days. And I was, my parents were smart enough, like I said, when I was 15, 16 years old, I'm spending all my money that I was making at work going racing. So everybody else is spending their money and, banging random chicks. So.
Well, there's that. Bill said amen to what you were saying earlier there, and Trump 2020, and Mikey's Trump 2020 4 more years.
See,
again, we know our audience. So.
We hope so.
Yeah. So you know what? That's not even me saying it. I'm just repeating what the audience says.
Wait, hang on.
Trump and Pence.
It's for Chris S. again.
You're such a dick.
Well, no, I'm going to do this like every few minutes, just so,
Well, in case
he can't fast forward. So if he fast forwards, he sees this.
Wow.
Because screw that guy.
Wow. I'm not going that far. Right. I can take a little bit of criticism. And, I do want to speak
It's our show. We can do what the hell we want. That's the whole point of it.
Yes.
Watch it, don't watch it, whatever.
Yes.
That left you speechless.
No, I'm trying to pick up my train of thought from the last time you interrupted me. So what I was going to say is that part of why we're addressing this today is because for a while this summer, there was so much drama on social media, and I stopped. I stopped posting, and I was quiet, and I was being respectful. And you know, and until I realized, you know what, I've got good things to say, and I want to continue showing up for my audience and keep sharing, and I'm just going to be authentic, and I'm going to be real. And this idea of you can say whatever you want as long as it conforms with a certain little box, that very much infuriates me. I mean, before I ever bought a gun, I would have fought for your right to have one because it is part of our Second Amendment. Whether I wanted one or not, I would have fought for your right. And now I will fight for the right to have free speech in this country. And no matter if you want to say something stupid, if you want to say something I don't agree with, you know what? I'm still going to fight for your right to say that in America.
It's like the protesting shit. Like, go out, protest, march down the street, be peaceful. I will freaking defend you with my AR-15. As soon as you start down looting shit, I'm going to shoot your ass. Mm-hmm. So that's the way I got.
Well, and now we're living in this cancel culture that you can say whatever you want as long as it, you know, complies with the narrative that's out there. You know, I'll tell you something that was very disturbing to me is that, of course, recently we had the Supreme Court nominee, Amy Coney Barrett.
Yep.
And I'm going to go from the non-political side of this. And what I'm going to just say is just, okay, I don't care how it was done. When I actually looked at this individual and I looked at videos where she was speaking on stages, you know, maybe 10 years ago, so long before she was ever, you know, on this particular deal, I felt really good about like her intelligence, that she was smart. I mean, she's somebody who's basically my age, who's worked, I feel like she's worked her entire life to get to this point. Like her whole life has really been structured around someday potentially being a Supreme Court justice. I mean, from the idea of being in law school, top of her class, and...
Well, the main thing is she's smart.
She's wicked smart.
And she's a constitutionalist.
Well, and here, that's where it gets to the next piece. So, for instance, the Girl Scouts on Twitter, apparently they don't have, like, the best social media awareness of anything.
Apparently
and so they congratulate, you know, Amy Coney Barrett for being the 5th female Supreme Court justice. Now, I would think, now again, I'm not trying to get into the politics of the Girl Scouts here.
I don't know.
But I think it is a major accomplishment. I remember in my day, Sandra Day O'Connor becoming a Supreme Court justice. And I think it is an amazing accomplishment. And only to have people come on there and tear down and tear down and tear down just because of, like they don't like the way it was done. Now that's going to diminish this person's accomplishment just because you don't like who appointed her in the first place.
Right.
So, and then I see somewhere else where somebody who's like, you know, pro small business and pro women, actually one of my friends, you know, saying negative things. And so is this really like we've fought all of these years so that women could have some kind of equality, and you want to say, well, take down the patriarchy. Well, you want to take down the patriarchy, but yet the women who are going to succeed, they better fall into your narrative or you're going to cancel them?
Right.
Bite me.
Yep.
Bite me.
Can you be a boy in the Girl Scouts of America?
I'm not even trying to get into that. I'm not even
just
going
curious,
there with the whole Scouts.
Because I know you can be a girl in the Boy Scouts
I
of
know,
America.
that's just stupid. All I'm saying is you better stand for something and it better be consistent. And otherwise we'll have zero respect for any of it. And I'm not kept from anything because I'm a woman. I mean, other than like I don't know, they probably wouldn't kick me out of a boys' locker room or men's locker room. I don't want to say boys because that was creepy.
They'd be like showing their wieners and shit. And be like,
guess
oh, wow, there's a chick in here.
Oh no!
It'd be a competition.
Oh my God, it's cold. It's cold. I'm telling you, it's just cold. You never know where this show is going to go. Sorry. But, you know, it just made me really angry that we're going to undermine, and it's going to be women who undermine another woman's accomplishment just because they don't have the same point of view. Right. And actually, that brings me to a point, too, is that what I really respected about Judge Amy was that when she was asked a question, I mean, people are criticizing her saying, oh, she didn't answer the question. But her question, when she answers the question like, hey, you know, without looking at all the evidence, I can't really look at it. The question I have to ask is, do we really want judges to have their minds made up before they ever try a case?
Exactly.
What happened to like innocent until proven guilty? Do you really want to walk into a courtroom where the judge looks at your picture, they've already decided that you're guilty before you ever walk in the courtroom? Come on.
And do you know who nominated her?
Trump.
Donald Trump.
Yes,
the worst misogynist president and racist we've ever had.
Don't even.
I'm being
because
sarcastic.
I know you are, but liberals don't understand.
No, they don't understand sarcasm or comedy.
No, you'll be quoted. You'll be quoted.
I'll be quoted. Yeah.
Yep. So you better watch out. They don't understand comedy.
That was off the record, by the way.
You have to be literal. You have to be literal for the liberals.
All right. The not so misogynist or racist president we've ever had.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So now we are back. Patrick's like, hey, you two are great. I feel like I'm the only one replying. You guys can say whatever you want. I mean, you really can.
Even if you don't agree with us, I mean, we'll argue about it. We don't have a problem.
We don't even have to argue, and we're certainly not going to berate you.
We're not arguers. I mean, we have like really left-wing
you
friends, and I get along with them just fine. I mean, we just shoot the shit and talk about it, and go our separate ways. And the next day we're friends and buying each other beers, so it's not a big deal.
Well, you and I disagree on this show all the time.
Well, yeah, especially over your.
I don't.
I won't bring it up.
Don't.
I won't bring it up.
He's gonna say climate change. That's what he's gonna say.
Global warming. Oh wait, was it global warming? It was global warming first. Now it's climate change. I keep forgetting. All right.
Yeah. Okay, now we actually have a tech question that you can answer. So Jeff says, Steve, he didn't. I don't know. He didn't ask me, but
right.
Remember,
that's all right.
I'm kidding. Steve, with a 604 engine running a VP 110 race fuel, changing to E85 racing fuel, do you have to change the spark plug or the spark plug gap?
Actually, we haven't. I still recommend the same exact spark plug.
I will be right back.
Gap-wise, we're still using the same gap, 40 to 45, preferably 40. On the, as far as the, let's see here. As far as the heat range goes, we're still using the same heat range. So it's going to either be that Aero 94, which is what I actually kind of prefer because I like that plug a little bit better than the Champion, or the Champion R57 24-8. I'll be honest, we haven't had a lot of time to like really start doing some heat range tests with the E85 because it's something we've kind of jumped back on board with this year. So as far as our time goes, it's nothing we've been able to really do a lot of research on. But what I can tell you is just changing from that 110 to that E85, sticking with the same plug, sticking with the same gap, obviously different carburetor, you're going to see probably 25 to 35 foot-pounds of torque increase on the bottom end, probably peak torque about 20, and horsepower-wise you're going to see probably about 20 on the bottom end and honestly about 10 to 15 on the top end. So if you're using the right kind of E85, I'm not talking like going to the local sheet station and buying it out of the pump. I'm talking like X85 or the Renegade E85, or like you're buying a drum of fuel sealed from a reputable fuel manufacturer.
Speaking of fuel manufacturers, both VP and Renegade are going to be at the Cars Racing Show.
Oh, nice.
Yes, both of those fuel companies. So
maybe we'll see a fight. Maybe they'll all get in a fight out there. That'd be kind of fun.
I'm just having a vision.
I'm just saying. I mean, it'd be kind of fun.
Anyway,
I mean, what other competing companies do we have? That'd be kind of awesome. We just, you know what? Like your whole entertainment night on what are you gonna do? Like an entertainment night kind of thing on Friday night? It'd be kind of fun to like just set up a boxing ring and have like the biggest two dudes from each company out there like duking it out.
Well, you know who will be there?
Because I'm gonna have my brother do it. So.
Okay.
I'm not. I'll get my ass kicked. I'm gonna let my brother do it.
Gosh, it'd be more fun if it was you, though.
Yeah, my brother's like 6'3" and 240, so we'll let him roll.
I'm going to drop in a link. Register for the trade show and come join us. carsracingshow.com/register. And registration is free for now. We're selling lots of those free tickets.
Well, good.
Honestly.
Selling a lot of free tickets.
Well, the amazing thing is actually there's a lot of people where we talk to them like, are you coming? And they're like, yeah. Have you registered yet? And yeah, no.
You know who sells a lot of freedom tickets? Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Donald Trump.
Maybe I should have called it a racing rally. But then we'd get the wrong idea, like it's a rally race, which is different. So, yeah. Let's see. Jeff's talking about, he says, it will be the VP C85. Now, you would go with the X85.
C85 is actually illegal in most things that we run because the specific gravity is too high. So, the C85's got like some shit in it that the X85 doesn't, which it'll produce a little bit more power, but if you've got a actual specific gravity rule, like say for the Crate Racing USA series, then C85 is illegal.
Gotcha. Yeah, if this is Jeff, I actually talked to somebody about all of this stuff the other day on Friday. I don't know if it was Jeff or not. I'm trying to remember. I think it was, trying to remember what series he was with. Oh, it was ILMS was the person. It was a
Indiana Late Model Series.
Yeah. And I couldn't remember their.
I honestly don't know the rules. I mean, we do
it.
engines for up there, but I don't know what the rules are as far as their E85 deal goes.
Yeah, I don't either.
But the C85 is definitely not legal for like Crate Racing USA.
Yeah. Gotcha. Patrick says, I just bought the anti-reversion mufflers. Do I need different tailpipe lengths, jetting changes?
What headers do you have? What are the primary tube lengths? And yeah, that's like the two major questions I got for you.
Yeah. He thinks he wants to be on the show, but he doesn't always. He's right over here. Yeah, we don't know.
And that was Patrick, by the way.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
On your anti-reversion muffler question, because all that makes a difference. And if it's a crate engine, is it a crate engine? I mean, that'd be the primary thing too, either a 602 or a 604, because these things pull such a tremendous manifold vacuum. Everything about the exhaust has to do with everything about the intake side of everything. So it changes your air-fuel ratio dramatically, depending on what you've got going on.
Well, I know Patrick earlier in our discussions here was saying he was going to fog his motor. So I'm guessing it's a 604.
Well, I don't know. It can be a 602 also. So
he could have them both.
Or a 525. Yes. So, I mean, or just a standard stock type engine. But jetting's a little bit tricky for me to give you an answer to because I don't know what carburetor you've got. I don't know what's been done in the metering blocks to the main body there's so many different variables there.
So basically, it's more of an individual question and call you on Monday?
No, essentially, yeah. I make them an individual question, but I mean, if it's something that we run, then I can probably pretty much tell you, something that's pretty close.
BA headers, not Sean Lengths, 602 Northeast Dirt Mod. So
okay.
Yeah, I was totally wrong.
The Northeast Dirt Mod stuff, honestly, man, I don't know. I can't tell you, just because I don't have enough experience with those. Because I know you guys have to run like if I remember right, you got to run like, it's the big block modifieds with 602 in it. So you got to like run you got some exhaust rule, header length, tailpipe length thing, if I remember right. I can't tell you. I'll tell you who can tell you probably is if you'll call Jason Orr at 955 Automotive. Jason does a lot of those, and he's worked around like our muffler and stuff, and he can completely probably hook you up with the answer to that. He's a good friend of mine, so he'll definitely just give him a shout, send him a message on Facebook, whatever. He could probably hook you up.
Now, back to Jeff, who was talking to us with the fuel and about the E85 versus 110. He also is mentioning that there is no fuel rule. So there really is no fuel rule. Go with methanol.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Is what we would say.
Yeah, if there's no fuel rule, I'd definitely run methanol.
Mm-hmm. All right, Sean says, on 604, 16 volt, what are your thoughts on an alternator?
Don't need one. We don't run one. I haven't run an alternator on either my stuff or my kids' stuff in, 15 years. So, yeah, you don't need one.
Now, would you say that would change, like, if you were actually ever to run, like, a 100-lap race?
No, not at all, because MSDs will fire down to, I think it's like 7 volts at full capacity, and even the fast system goes down to, like, 5 volts. Mm-hmm. So, no, it's not necessary to run an alternator. I mean, if you're lazy and you don't want to put a battery charger on there, run an alternator. But, no, there's no gain or no loss so long as that thing's fully charged when you go out to race. Even in a 100-lapper.
Good. Good. It's a question that pops up every once in a while.
Yeah.
And there's a few different opinions out there. Yours is one of...
I mean, if you're running a piece of shit HEI on a 12-volt ignition system, I would probably run an alternator. HEI is crap anyway and doesn't belong in a race car, but I mean, if you're stuck around working with that, then I would probably run an alternator.
Gotcha. Okay, back to Patrick. He says 3-inch. I'm not sure what that's about, the 3-inch.
3-inch exhaust.
Okay. Was going to buy a new carb. If you could get me the number for the guy at 955,
Yeah,
I'd
absolutely.
really appreciate it. So just...
Here, you can actually post it here.
Okay. Well, I mean, otherwise he doesn't even... I can't remember if Jason's got a...
He does.
Reply.
Hang on. So, it's going to be... We were like sending text back and forth today. There we go.
Just read it to me. I can't read.
814. 873. 2280.
By the way, I can read.
Don't call him until tomorrow though.
Yeah.
Because it's
By the way,
Sunday.
I can read. I accidentally just said I can't read. That's
Right.
not exactly what I meant. I can't like read the phone right there.
And tell him that I told you to call and he has a deal on orange silicone. Because I'll mess with him with that too. So.
You guys and your silicone, my goodness. So, are you all ready for the trade show in December?
No, hell no. I gotta build like 3 motors for that damn trade show, and I'm still 5 weeks behind on all the shit we got to go. So, no, I'm not ready. Are you?
Well, I mean, every day I'm a little step closer.
A little step closer?
A little step closer.
Is it a baby step?
Baby steps. Baby steps. Well, if you're going in, will you take the casserole out of the oven? Yeah, put a casserole in the oven because that's a thing. Yes. Oh, I have a question for me. Yay. Kate, this question is for you. Do you have tear-offs for R7 Pro helmets? I don't sell any tear-offs, and I'll tell you why. The reason why is because it's one of those things that a lot of people just buy at the track, and so I've just never carried them. If there was enough demand for them, and I probably made that decision when I was a lot smaller as a company. It may be something I am verging into. I plan to have a whole lot more helmets coming up, so I've decided to become a stocking dealer for Bell. So I will likely have a lot of helmets in stock. So it's also more likely that I'll start bringing tear-offs into the mix, and I just haven't made a final decision on which ones I'll be doing that. And Patrick said, you guys are great. Oh, Patrick says, you guys are great. This old fart wants to beat up on these kids.
Nice.
Tim says, baby steps better than no step. Yeah, in fact, I ordered my trade show backdrop I've got like a 50-foot booth.
Right.
And like 10 feet of my booth is going to be all set up with this cool trade show display and... like cool graphics, and I'm really excited about it. It's gonna be like this whole little interview spot. I'm gonna be like the media center for the show.
Right.
I'm really excited about it. So the hardware came today, but the printed materials aren't here yet. So that's what the giant boxes in my hallway. That's what those are.
Gotcha. All right.
Let's see. And Jeff says, sorry, RS Pro helmets. Yeah, I mean, and I've got the RS7 Pro helmets. I've got the new 2020s, the new Bell 2020 RS7 Pro helmets. I have a couple of those in stock. I have a lot more on order, and they're just kind of trickling in a couple at a time. So
Yeah.
I'll take what I can get.
Typical Bell.
Well, I think it's just been a challenge. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot going on there. I mean, they had the new factory overseas.
Well, that's
and
what
then
I've
they
always
bought-
worn is Bell. So.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
well, that's why.
And I feel the pain of trying to order a Bell. Trust me.
Well, that's why I decided to bring them in stock, and that way they're in stock. And I got to turn off the timer. So unless,
I did.
Well, you turned off the oven, but the timers. I can hear the timer
Well,
from here.
I'll go shut the damn timer.
Okay. Hello.
Here, let's
I
do
think
that.
we've got.
Kitty's out.
There we go. But I think we're at about an hour here, and do you have any other? I know.
Well, I
we've
don't
got
know.
Final words,
well,
but we don't have any more questions.
No, but I mean, like next week is going to be after the election.
Yeah, it will be.
So we'll either be going Trump Pence is awesome, or we're going to be change this show to tell everybody how to hide their money, because that's what you're going to have to do.
Or
Or
it could be the uncertainty in this country as the votes aren't even in yet.
Well, hopefully next week, like they're rioting in all the major cities because Trump won.
Either that or it's rioting in the rural areas because...
That won't happen. We're not rioters.
Yeah, it's true. We're not really. Not
So.
really. Patrick says, Kate, took your advice about using social media to promote my racing program. Trying to find someone who understands this stuff. I'm not too good with this kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean, I explain this stuff. I have a whole other 2 channels that talk about this stuff. So I have the Winning Motorsports Marketing YouTube channel, and I have my website, CrateInsider.com, which I talk about promotion and digital marketing and all of the super geeky stuff. And if you've got any particular questions on that, feel free to reach out to me, and it might just be spur me on to another video, because I've got whole programs for this. I have YouTube videos, I have blog posts. I mean, it's none of this is that hard. It is just taking one little step at a time and getting better at one little thing at a time.
Well, I mean, I'm guilty of that too. I mean, I don't know. So who do I listen to? I listen to you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what my kid did.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Alex.
Made a big difference for him.
Made a big difference for him, but you're also somebody who grew up being a cold call salesman.
Yeah.
Saleswoman. And you've kind of got that little gift for gab.
No, I'm just fearless.
That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, you give people a lot of good advice. I'll just put it that way.
Well, thank you so much. Gary thinks Trump will landslide. Damn, I sure hope so.
God, I hope so.
Yeah. Otherwise, I don't know what the path forward looks like for
Yeah,
us.
the path forward for us looks like I said, hiding our money. So.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people wanted that.
Hiding our money and laying off evil assistant Tare.
Oh, quit it. No. No.
No, we won't lay off evil assistant Tare.
Patrick says, I can't hardly email. I hear any number of excuses and reasons from people all the time why they can't do something. And I will say that if there's something you want bad enough, that you'll find a way. And I like to say, like, in this office, you're only a Google search away. That's it. You're only a Google search away. I started this business in 2014. I had no idea how to operate websites at all. I didn't know anything about digital marketing. And now I build them. Now I talk about them. Now I promote them. I teach others.
Long story short, it's not an overnight deal. You're not gonna go from not knowing how to email like tomorrow. So it might take you a month to figure out how to do certain things. But
I would say maybe email's tough, and you're not going to be a social media marketing agency tomorrow.
No.
But at the same time, just take one little thing. What exactly, when you can pinpoint it, if you can ask the question, you can find the solution.
Correct.
And Google is fantastic for that. Yep. Gary says, get your guns ready. Oh, honey. Honey.
Trust me.
Yes. No fear on that. Yeah,
Fortunately, we live in a rural area.
Yeah.
So if they make the mistake coming here, it's going to be a bad day.
It'd be a bad day. Bad day.
Not for us, but.
Well, I think it's about time to wrap this up.
Yeah. And for Chris S., I just want to say, please vote for Trump Pence.
No, for everybody.
2020.
And for the future of our country.
Yep.
That's what way we're voting.
Yeah.
We're just going to own it.
Yeah.
But I want to...
Also for Chris S., again, here you go, buddy. There you go. Trump Pence 2020.
Can we end our show like the Hodge twins?
That was a damn good show.
Oh my God, that was a bit much. That was... Okay, next up, Trump 2020.
Yeah!
You hit the button.
I gotta hit the button? Damn it. All right. Trump 2020. See you, Chris.